Welcome to the Boxing Locker. I am Matt Goddard, former professional boxer, now boxing coach. And today in my Boxing 101 series, I'm going to be taking you through how to throw the rear hook. Now we've discussed the lead hook, straight punches, head movement, defenses, all these kind of things that are all really important. Now we're going to work specifically on the rear hook. Now the rear hook is a difficult punch to implement because it's the longest of all of the 6 fundamental punches. It's the longest. By longest, I mean it takes the longest to deliver. It has the furthest ground to cover. It's moving from the furthest point away from the target to the target, and as such has to be delivered with perfection if you want to land it and not get picked apart while you do it. All right, so boxing stance. Fundamental mistake most people make when they throw the rear hook is they put their arm behind them. Now, what I need to do is put my elbow up. And now I can throw the shot. Right? So, as with the cross, as with all of our punches, what we're looking for is hip and shoulder rotation. Arm movement is actually minimal. What I want to do is snap through the arm into the target. What I don't want to do is sacrifice that body weight driving around the center point. So I don't want to just move my arm and go. Okay, A, that will hurt your shoulder, and B, it will do very little to the opponent. What I'm trying to do is rotate around that center point, get that arc. The same as when I threw that lead hook. Trying to get that elbow in line with the fist, big knuckles driving into the impact points, non-punching hand high, chin tucked, shoulder protects me. Same as when I throw that cross. Notice how the movement is no different. If I want to make it longer, I come out here. Alright, so I come round and I come across. The punch doesn't go too far behind me. Look, it goes out and round. Shoulder in line with elbow. Balance, nice and dropped into the knees. Come back out, yeah? Back into my stance. I take a couple of movements around, say, for example. Then I've got to throw that hook. Boom. Look how much rotation has come through that. Chin's protected. Non-punching hands high. Southpaw position is the same premise. I'm in that boxing stance. I come across. See how that comes out? Rather than backwards. It comes out and then drives around. Rotation, hip and shoulder, weight drops into the legs, elbow tucks in. I get that nice high line, chin protected behind the shoulder, bosh, back into there, boom, come round, every time. Now, what is the best way to deliver that rear hook? I would say in combinations, all right? You want to throw it in sequence with other punches. It's very difficult to land a rear hook as a single shot. It's been done and people have had success doing it, but that doesn't mean it's easy, right? We don't want to practice doing things that are difficult to implement in a combat scenario. We want to do all the things that are easy, all the things that are simple, get those fundamentals locked in, and then develop upon them as we get more comfortable, more confident, and more competent. So if I were to throw a jab and then start with a rear hook from there, my opponent's got a long time to watch that punch coming, so it's going to be really easy for them to defend that shot. However, if I were to set that up moving in with my shots and then get myself closer to throw that punch, it would be easier to disguise it, and as a result, it would be far easier to land that shot. Obviously, within that, you have different variations, overhands, body hooks, all those kind of things. But the fundamental thing is that it is the slowest punch, the longest punch, and therefore the hardest punch to throw. So probably the punch you will find yourself throwing the least. Now, it is a very effective punch in close because my opponent is real close to me. So my lead hand is near to their head, which means they're going to have a tough time seeing that right hook come across, which means I can then throw it a lot easier. But if I'm throwing it at mid to long range, it's really difficult. So we need to be thinking more actively about how we can set that up before we throw it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't practice. That doesn't mean you shouldn't drill it now. In fact, spend, as usual, rounds and rounds and rounds, giving this thousands of reps, get it locked in, get it comfortable, make yourself feel at ease throwing the punch, and then you may find your timing works perfectly well to land that shot, particularly against certain kinds of opponents. But as always, everything is open to situation, position, and intent. There we have it, guys. The rear hook technique. Make sure you're rotating from the back foot, hip, shoulder, rotating round, get that elbow high, coming in line with the fist, big knuckles landing, and then returning to starting position. Same thing in southpaw, hip, shoulder, everything tucked in, nice and narrow. That was how to throw the rear hook. I hope you enjoyed the video. Another in my series of Boxing 101. I hope you really have checked out all the rest of the content that you are subscribing and that you're ready for all of the rest of the stuff that's coming your way, because this is the kind of thing that can really level your game up. Take care, have a great day, and I'll see you for the next video.